warm-blooded creature is because heat happens to be a byproduct of cellular respiration. So those things that create energy through cellular respiration, including plants, create their own heat. And that was some cool, there's some cool stuff in there about some of these plants that create enough heat to actually melt snow and things like that. I'm not going to go there. All I want you to know is to make sure you understand that the heat that we feel is a result, a byproduct, kind of a nice one, of the process of cellular respiration. So, the more you move, the more you work, the more cellular respiration, the more heat. Okay? Kind of like a car, the more, the faster the axle goes, the hotter it gets. Same kind of thing here. Okay, so friction, ATP, cellular respiration. Okay? Now, the last question we've got to talk about is, I'm going to reiterate, fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Because we've just been really fixated the whole time on glycolysis, which is to break down really glucose into energy. We know that it comes from other sources too. We eat all kinds of foods. Foods are made up of the 3 macromolecules, right? And so we also get energy from fats and proteins. If you read in there, fats have kind of a little different shunt. They kind of bypass glycolysis and go right to the Krebs cycle through a bunch of little intermediaries. Okay? We talked before, fats have twice the energy, basically, of glucose. And the reason is because it has to do with their bonds. It's very complex. We're not going to go there. That'd be a whole another 2 months of stuff. The other one is proteins, okay? And we know proteins, okay? Proteins are a part of our diet. That's what makes us up. We're mostly proteins, right? And so you eat something, you're getting the proteins, okay? Problem is, what do you get as a byproduct of protein metabolism? Ammonia. And ammonia, as you know, has to be dealt with because it's toxic to us, isn't it? So how do we deal with it? We convert it to urea, and then urine. Okay? So, and I'm not going to talk about the but. So if you look at this, if you think about that a little bit, protein is not the best necessarily for energy because you have to work. If you remember, there's energy required to process ammonia, isn't there? Okay? So as you make energy, you're going to use it to deal with the amine breakdown, basically the ammonia production to make urea. Okay? Huge diet, Atkins diet. You guys heard about that?
Yeah.
Okay. What's it all about?
Carbs.
Basically, right, which means protein. You're basically slamming down protein and vegetables. That's what you're doing. And so what that does is, if you happen to be a person that has a kidney problem, you have some kind of a balance, chemical imbalance, that can be a real negative thing. So jumping on a fad diet sometimes is not the best thing. In fact, if you had a kidney issue and you weren't able to process ammonia well, it could kill you. Okay, so that's the kind of information that, if you ever went that route, you read about and think about, and that's kind of why I mentioned this now. Okay? Yes?
You said fats, they bypass glycolysis and all that?
Yep. It showed that there's a diagram showing, I think, fats on one side coming in, and then proteins on the other side. It kind of showed it going to triglycerides because fats made up of those 2 parts go right into the filter. Yes, ma'am?
Can you go over the middle?
Sure. Sure.
Brian's laughing at me.
I have to keep moving to get out of here. Just get it away.
Okay.
Just sit on the floor.
Oxygen. Right here. Role of oxygen is the terminal electron acceptor, or it's the electron acceptor at the end, however you want to phrase it, of electron transport. Okay? Where did it come from? The air, you breathe it in. Okay? What does it become? Water. The H2O at the end of the process of cellular respiration. In the equation for cellular respiration, the H2O at the end, that's this. The O2 at the beginning is this. So it grabs the electrons so that electron transport can continue. Okay? And then it binds with protons real quick and makes one. Okay? Yes.
Can you write that overall equation on the board? Or is it the same as the cellular respiration?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the cellular respiration, that's what we've been talking about. So, O2 plus C6H12O6 gives you CO2,
Okay.
H2O. Yep.
And do we have to know the numbers on it, like 6 and 6 CO2?
No, the balance part, no, that was the same as with photosynthesis, we did not. And it was part- the only reason I did that, remember, was so that you understood that the 6 carbon dioxides that were put together to make one glucose, and then now that we're talking about cellular respiration, understand that one glucose, 6 carbon molecules, can create how many CO2s? 6. Okay? That's key.
Will there be an essay question on the test?
Say that again?
Will there be an essay question?
Short answer, and that would be, if I decide I want to go there. I haven't decided that yet. Okay? But I will, the two I talked about, one's insulin and glucagon, right? Blood sugar regulation, and then the photosynthesis carbon dioxide. Okay, any other last questions? All right, yes ma'am.
For the question that we have to draw, it's just number 12, right?
Yes. Yep.
No, he's answering questions.
Okay, if you got a current event on Monday,